Hi everyone. It's Tuesday, the 18th of June, and this is my weekly preview for what it's worth. Things that I've spotted going on in the distance running world, things to watch, etc. And I want to start though with a book, not review, but just a recommendation, which I read, and it's called "Good for a Girl" by Lauren Fleshman. It's been out about a year. Not a huge amount of publicity about it over here, necessarily. I think Felix Wheatley did a review as well, but it's extremely good, and I would recommend it for any female, or even males, because some of it applies to males. Certainly, parents, coaches, supporters of female distance runners. It's quite shocking in many ways. It goes through lots of the issues that females particularly are faced with during their formative years. And although I know of a few like Philly Bowden, Pippa Wolven, Bobby Clay, and others who have highlighted the difficulties they face through their running career, I think what it shows is the sheer scale of maybe formative issues and smaller issues that and anxieties that and pressures that girls face as they develop in the distance running. We've all seen the difficulty in transitioning from a really good under 15 to seniors, particularly. They throw so much thrown at them, and this book faces head on all of those challenges with obviously personal experiences of Lauren Fleshman, who is a top American distance running. So it's available on Amazon, $8.99. I've got no particular interest, except it was coincidence. I was handed it last week or a couple of weeks ago, and I've read it, and it makes you really think hard about how you operate coaching girls and supporting girls, and how those girls think and meet the challenges themselves. So really worth a read. Everyone should read it involved in the sport, I think. Really good. I can't recall seeing another book like it, so it's won plenty of awards, and worth a read. Going on to what's happening this week, as I say, it's Tuesday the 18th of June, and tonight there's another continental tour meeting, the Parvo Nurmi Games, which is being shown on World Athletics Inside Track YouTube channel. It's got a few Brits in it. For example, Ben Patterson goes in the 800. Zach Seddon and Will Battersall having a crack at the Olympic qualifying time, I assume, in the 3,000 metre steeplechase. That's tonight, Tuesday. Then Wednesday, there's a couple of British Miners Club meetings going on. One at Eltham. It's only got 5,000 metres under the banner of the BMC, but it's got 800 and 1,500 metre open races as well. And at Bracknell, some more significant meetings going on. Some good events over 8, 15 and 3,000, particularly Joe Wigfield and Angus Harrington, a couple of the runners going in the men's 800. I hope to be there, might be able to film it, we shall see. Not sure if there's a live stream. And then we go on to Saturday, where the British Miners Club, I think it's the third Grand Prix of the season, takes place at Loughborough. Bearing in mind this is a week before the British Champs, so people still trying to get British Champs qualifying perhaps, and other qualifying times, but just run through a few of the runners. 800 metres, we've got Ethan Hussey and Piers Copeland amongst the men's entries. Shakira King is one of the fastest and one of the youngest, but there's no sub-2 runners in the women's 800. Men's 1,500, you've got the Wheeler brothers, George and Charles, Tiernan Corcoran, Rory Leonard, Will Barnicoat. Should be a good race, around, as long as the weather's okay, around the 340 level or maybe just inside. Ephraim Gidey, who ran the European 10,000 metres championship from Ireland, doing the 3,000. Women's 3,000, a little bit deeper perhaps at the front end. We've got Innes Fitzgerald, Jenny Nesbitt, Philly Bowden, We've also got Jenny Blundell from Australia, who's done 8:43. She's the quickest in the field on paper. So that's at Loughborough, and that'll be shown on Vinco and Runner Space with the usual subscription. And then we've got the National Athletics League taking place at various venues around the country on Saturday. It's the 22nd of June. Premiership matches shown again on Vinco and Runner Space. If you want details of who's been declared for various clubs, you can go on Open Track and find them. Then the big meeting in the world this year, and one of the biggest in terms of drama and quality and excitement, is the US Olympic trials, which actually start on Friday, which is the 21st, and go right through to the 30th of June. So what's that, 8-9 day meeting going on. I won't go into when everything's been shown. Last year the videos were shown by World Athletics. It is on NBC TV, and we'd have to have a search around from that. I can't see that the full heat declarations are up yet, but the 800 on the men's side declared. You can find the declarations, but I'll give you some of them. Bryce Hoppel, Isaiah Jewett, Brandon Miller, they're three of the top runners who've got the Olympic qualifying time. We've got Shane Cohen, who won the NCAA champs with a late surge, Clayton Murphy, the old stalwart who often comes good at the trials. And then perhaps one of the biggest interests in the meeting will be to see how Athing Mu goes in the women's race. Who hasn't raced this year. She'll be up against the likes of Nia Atkins and others. It's funny actually how some of the events are quite deep in terms of how many have got the Olympic qualifying times already. So you'd presume the top three would automatically be picked for the US team for the Olympics. But there are other events, for example, the men's 1500, that aren't so straightforward. If you get in the top three and you haven't got the qualifying time, you won't be going, especially if you're not ranked highly enough either. Which means that somebody finishing 5th, 6th, 7th could, if they've got the time, go to the Olympics ahead of the others that have beaten them. Likes of Yared Nuguse, Cole Hocker, Cooper Teare have the time. And whilst there's others like Eric Holt, who ran Jake Whiteman really close over 1500 last week, Joe Wascombe, who won the NCAA champs, and even Matt Centrovitz, former Olympic champion, could be top three and yet not have the qualifying time, which will create a little bit of discussion, if not uproar. Women's 1500, headed by Elise St. Pierre and Elise Cranny, got 6 sub-4 minute 1500 metres in that, so that's pretty deep, and plenty who've got the qualifying time on the women's side, which is 4:02 point something. Olympic qualifying times have to be achieved by the 30th of June 2024, so that's the day after our trials finish and also the USA trials finish. Men's 5000, there's 9 who have run under the Olympic qualifying time of 13:05. Again, you wonder whether some of these, don't know, are some of the qualifying times not easier, because they're not easy, run 13:05, but more people seem to have achieved them over 5,000 than they have over the 1500, for example. Men's 5000's got Grant Fisher, Cooper Teare, Nico Young, Cole Hocker. Some of these people declared for 2 events, of course, during the meeting, and plenty of others. The women's got 4 who've gone under the 14:52 Olympic qualifying time, including Elise St. Pierre and Elise Cranny yet again. Parker Valby, who won the NCAA 5 and 10,000 metres championship. She's just outside the qualifying, but that's intriguing because she missed it by a fraction of a second, and the shoes she was wearing were not legal by World Athletics standards, but are accepted at the NCAA level. Whether, how she feels, etc., will somebody like Parker Valby really go for it and try and get in the top 3 with the qualifying time, both at the 5,000 and the 10,000, because she's declared for that again. We're the only woman with the qualifying time is Wayne Kalati, who's run under 30-40 this year. Men's race, again, cracker, 3 sub-27, which is the qualifying time with Grant Fisher, Nico Young, Woody Kincaid there. And then the steeplechase headed by Bohr and Rotich. And there's 8 sub-9:23 on the women's side, the qualifying time. I'll be particularly interested to see Ali Ostrander goes, who's just outside the Olympic qualifying time, but has been on the rise after various turmoils during her running career, from being a teenager, going back to what I started this preview with. Has struggled over the years with all sorts of things thrown at her, but now has just run her best ever race and won with 9:24, just outside the time. And can she up her game even further to have make the Olympic team, which would be one of the extraordinary stories of the championship. So plenty to look forward to there. Really, the American trials cutthroat. Top 3, have to go top 3 to qualify. No ifs or buts. Being out with injury, illness, etc. doesn't cut it, and it really is the drama. And there will be some who do miss out, who would normally expect a place. That's it. My wife started whistling in the background, so I'm going to call it a day there, and wish you all a really good week.